Hello everyone, my name is Kishwa. I'm 8 years old. I'm from Vietnam. I live in Bali.
We say that they are what? A very young
very
child,
young
0 to
child.
1 year old.
Zero to
Oh, very
1 year
cute,
old.
right?
Very cute,
Sleeping,
right?
very
We
cute.
say
What do we
right?
call
What
this
do we
person?
call
We call
this
this person
person?
a baby. Baby, right? 0 to 1 year old. 0 is interesting. In American age, when a baby is born, the first day, we say they're like 0 years old. They're just 1 day old. 2 days old, okay? Then we go to months. The baby is 3 months old, 6 months old, up to a year. But before they have been in the world for 1 year, we say that they are a baby. And by the way, baby, how do we say many? Babies, we say babies, I-E-S. So the Y changes to I-E, and then we put the S. Babies, babies. So one baby, many babies, right? Okay, so that's the first stage in a person's life. The first step or the first stage in a person's life. And we're talking about steps or stages in people's lives. The first step is baby. What's the next one?
What's the next one?
The next step is a child who is learning to walk. A child who is learning to walk from 1 to 3 years old. They are learning to walk. They can't walk very well yet. They're kind of going like this, right? They're learning to walk. They're like this. And when they do this, we say they're kind of like toddling, right? They are a toddler. Toddler is kind of the idea of, a baby wobbling, right? Like this. They're very careful. They don't walk very well. They're not like a mad robot, right? Maybe I'm not doing that right, but they're toddling, right? They're a toddler, a person who toddles, a person who doesn't walk very well yet. They're still learning. They're learning to walk. 1 to 3 years old, we call those people a toddler because they're learning how to walk. They haven't been able to walk well on their own yet. Before they walk, what do people do? Before they walk, like babies, they will crawl. Crawl is like this on all arms and legs. That's crawling. After crawling, people will walk. But when they're learning to walk, they are a toddler.
Okay.
A boy or girl between 3 and 12 years old. What do we call that person? We used that word actually on the previous slide when we talked about a toddler. Of course, we talk about that person. That person is a child. A child between 3 and 12 years old. Maybe some of you are between 3 and 12 years old. I don't think any of you are 3 years old. You don't understand me. But maybe if some of you are maybe 10 or 11 or even 12 years old, then you can be called a child. By the way, in English, what is the plural of children? If you have one child but many, do we say childs? No, don't say childs. Say children. Children, many children. At your school, there are many children. In your class, there are many children. Okay? So one child, many children. Now, after a person, after 12 years old, right? They become 13, 14, 15. They become one of these people, or in this stage. A boy or girl between 13 and 19 years old. 13 and 19 years old. So what do we call them? Of course, I'm saying it, teen, because 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. All of these words end in teen, right? So we say that these people are called teens. Now you might also call them teenagers. Teenagers. That's another word for teens. Okay, teenager or teenagers. Teen is the same word. Okay. Now, after the teenage years, right? This is quite a lot after. Just
This
a
is
long time
a
after.
long time
Okay,
after.
a man or a woman over 20,
woman,
because
yeah,
after
20.
19, then they are 20.
then
19,
20,
then 20.
19, then
20
20.
years old,
20 years
that
old.
person is
That
now what? What
person-
do we call those people?
do
We
you
call
call
those
those
people
people?
an
Because
adult. Adult. Adults are no longer children. They are no longer teens. They are adults. They are independent. They are responsible for themselves. They can make their own decisions. They don't depend on their parents anymore. They are independent. They are adults. A man or woman over 20 years old. Now, these are older adults, right? These are getting a little bit older than adults. Of course, you do have different stages in adults. You have young adult, middle-aged adult, or senior citizen. Let me write those down for you very quickly, just a little extra. Young adult, you can say young adult, usually somebody who is in their 20s, young adult. Then after somebody gets to be about 40 years old, then you could say middle-aged. Middle-aged. Okay, let me see if middle, DD, that's DD. MIDDLE, age, that's an A. AGED, middle-aged. And after middle-aged, maybe around 60, after 60 years old, we can say senior citizen. Okay? But all of these people, all of them are adults. Okay? So you also have different stages in the adult stage. Okay, let's move on. To get bigger and taller. So we've just talked about baby, toddler, child, teen, and adult. This process, this change, what do we say? What's going on here? To get bigger, what's the verb we use? We use, of course, the verb grow. To grow. Somebody who gets bigger, right? They get bigger and they get taller as they go along. It's very interesting. The baby is so small. When you see babies, oh wow, they're so small. Their fingers and their toes are so small. But they get much bigger, right? They grow into a full adult. So they grow bigger and they grow taller. They grow. What are the different forms of the verb grow? Of course, we have grow, grew, grown, right? Grow, grew, grown. It's an irregular verb. You have to remember the different forms for the different verb tenses. Grow, grew, grown. Okay. Next we have, this is another verb, to rest with your eyes closed. At night, this is what you should do. Don't play computer games, right? Get in your bed and do this. What is this? Right? What are you doing? You need this, especially when you're growing. When you're young, you need a lot of this. What is this person doing? This person is sleeping. So she is sleeping. Get sleep. Go to bed. Get some sleep or go to sleep. Right? Sleep at night. What are the different verb forms of to sleep? We have sleep, slept, slept. So this is the same for past tense and present participle. Sleep, slept, slept. Sleep, slept, slept. Okay? That's another irregular verb. Sleep, slept, slept. To rest with your eyes closed. Usually we do it at night, but sometimes we do it during the day for a short time. If you sleep during the day for a short time, that is take a nap. Take a nap. That's a short sleep during the day. Take a nap. Maybe you're tired. Take a nap for 30 minutes or an hour. But at night, you sleep at least 8 hours. Usually people sleep for 8 hours. Some people less, some people more, right? But don't play video games all night. It's important to get some sleep. Okay. Now, to begin life, we're talking about a baby. Of course, the baby, there's a point when the baby comes into the world. That is the time that the baby, we say, is beginning life. Of course, babies begin life in their mother's wombs, in their mother's bodies, but the moment the baby comes out into the world, we have a special verb for that. What do we say? We say to be born. To be born, to begin life. When were you born? When were you born? Okay, that's the very common question. When were
were
you
you
born?
born?
You could say, well,
You could
I
say,
was
I
born
was
in
born
1980 something.
1980
Or I was born in
Or I was born
1980. Some of you might have been born in
1980,
2000 something, right?
2000 something,
Maybe
right?
2000 or 2001.
2001.
When were you born?
When were
What
you
year
born?
were you
What
born?
year
Okay,
were
what
you
year
born?
did you come
When
into the
did you
world?
come to the
Born.
world? Born.
Okay. Now this is a verb that we talked about before actually, to go by moving your feet, right? Toddlers are learning how to do this. Toddlers, remember I talked about this, toddlers are learning how to do this. What is it? It is, of course, to walk. To walk, right? To move by moving your feet. Now, of course, walk, you could also say run, but run is to move fast or to go fast by moving your feet. To just go normally people walk, they don't run. So to go by moving your feet, you walk. Okay? If you go fast, that's run. Okay. To say things. So you're with your friends, right? And you say things to your friends. They say some things to you in return. So what are they doing? Of course, we say they are talking. To talk. Talk. Okay? Talk. To talk with people. Of course, talk is a regular verb, so we don't have to worry about the different forms, right? Talk. Okay, so these people are talking to say things to each other. Let's talk. Okay? Or they are talking to each other. Okay, what's our next word? Our next word is another verb. To, right? To make. To make pictures with a pen or pencil. You probably do this a lot. Even at school, you do this. What are you doing? You're making pictures, right? Maybe a house, people, or landscape with trees, maybe fish or animals. But what are you doing? You're making pictures. You are drawing. To draw. To draw means to make pictures with a pen or pencil. Now, draw is not a regular verb, it's an irregular verb. So what are the different verb forms? What are the different forms of this verb? We have draw, drew, drawn. Draw, drew, drawn. So this verb, draw, drew, drawn. Okay, so to draw is to make pictures with a pen or a pencil. Also, you could, with those pens or pencils, that's drawing. If you use a paintbrush, then you're not drawing, you're painting. Okay, so that's different. Okay, paintbrush, that's painting, but pencil or pen, then you're drawing. Okay, that's an interesting point. Okay. Very nice to look at. Oh, look at this. Kyopchi-o, right? Kyopchi. A little cat is very, what? We say very cute. A cat is cute, of course, but not just a cat. There are many things that are cute. Like, for example, we're talking about babies. Babies are very cute, right? When they're not crying. If they're not, that's not cute. But usually babies go, right? And they make the little faces. That's very cute, right? So we say very cute, very nice to look at. It's very nice to look at something that is cute. It's also very interesting, right? 재밌어요, right? But it's also very cute. 귀엽지요. 귀엽지? Yeah, 귀엽지. 귀엽지야, right? Oh, 귀여워요, right? That's very cute. Okay.
Very cute. Goodbye.